Here I'm playing PLO 25, PLO, one table of 50 PLO, and I just kind of wanted to do this to kind of uh, understand my thought process better and kind of get practice like speaking it out loud. And I didn't really want to do it real time, so this is just like a pre-recording and then just gonna voice over it. So let's jump in. We're still waiting for a few tables here, but yeah, this was a interesting hand. Pretty standard three bet. We get called. Good flop. I'm gonna C bet for sure here. I think could have gone a little bit bigger. Half pot is yeah. Um, since we have two pair here, yeah, 2/3 or third 3/4 would have been better. Turns very. It's pretty good. Um, sure he could get straights. Could made a better two pair too, but I think we're still gonna see bet. We're heads up, so and yeah, 3/4 is good. I think still have a good river bet. Then we get there with the nuts. Then we just sat down, so like just getting it in is good against like really aggressive opponents. We could check, but I think most of the time like we're just gonna get it in. I think this is okay. Heads up, even though we block ourselves. Decent flop. We have a lot of straight draws. Excuse me. Now we check. Um, I think betting the flop would be better. Checking back is okay too. After villain checks the turn, it's basically saying he doesn't have much, so uh, delay c bet is okay. I think we get a call. Um, Bad river. I think. Yeah, I think if he had like any made hand on the turn, he would bet into us. So it looks like we're going for a bluff. I don't like it that much because a lot, good chunk of draws got there, and what he calls with top two. I think that's a little thin, but maybe it's okay because we're heads up. I said it. Apparently, I thought it wasn't. So yeah, he got the station note. Um, Call. That's good. This is annoying. Maybe I'll fix that for next time. I'll just try to talk. Uh, I missed the action. Let's roll it back a little. Okay. Alright, we check raise. I think that's good with top two. Pretty dry board. Uh, yeah, we're going to continue here for sure. Max is, I think that's good after we showed aggression on the flop. Um, we're just gonna get it in. If he got there with a straight, he's gonna bet anyway. So yeah. Uh, Bottom right, we're just gonna fold. Uh, Top middle again. Yeah, standard open. We're gonna call for sure. Flop's not that good, so yeah, we're gonna fold. I think we can call because we're heads up. Um, with the ace deuce deuce king. Flop is kind of meh. Since we have no redraws, I think we're just gonna let it go here, especially against a pot. I mean, on the flop it's okay, but we still have the turn in the river coming, and uh, boards likely get like that are gonna get very hard to play later streets. So I guess I think he's tilting. Maybe he is. He's just three bet. Um, in general, I'm playing a little bit more loose passive, like kind of in position, taking advantage of position. So I'll call a little bit wider pre, and then get in some spots post flop, because I feel like the player pool here isn't that good, so I can get away with things. Here it's pretty close. Like I said, if the players are better, I would definitely fold. But oh, now we're like kind of stuck in this weird spot. Um, I think this is a better call over the one we just did, just because we have like relative position and yeah, bad flop. So we're just gonna let this go. If we get bet into, if we get a turn, then we'll see what's on the turn. Turn doesn't improve, so we're not gonna fold to that. Oh, at least we got to the river. Oh, we got two pair. No good now. So we're just gonna let it go. Um, let's see. I think we should fold this just because the villain to the left has been playing really aggressive. So yeah, he raised, or he bumped it up. I don't know. This could go either way. Interesting turn. Yeah, I think a bluff is good because sure someone could have a queen, but we block nut flush and we have a five. Um, I would have liked to see another bluff there. Um, just yeah, and Jack Jack is that. I'm glad we saw that because that's a really bad hand to call the turn with, and we made note. Bottom right, really good hand. We're definitely gonna play. 3-way pot, bottom right. Bad flop, but yeah, I think we would check this back. But I think one of the villains here is gonna bet here. Um, yeah, we're just folding to a pot. It's a weird. It's actually a weird bet. Uh, maybe maybe he has a lower set or ace nine for two pair or maybe a big draw. I don't know, but we can't really call. So open here is good. I think. Like I said, we're not getting three bet too much here against this player pool. So I like to open liberally. If we were getting three bet more, something like this would become pretty close. On this flop, I think we can go either way, c bet or check back. Um, if we had a ace high flush draw, I think a bet is good. So on the turn, we pick up a little bit more equity. Uh, looks like we have another hand, bottom left. Um, so bottom right, yeah, we call with our gutter and our flush draw and two overs. That could be good. On the river, we're just giving up. Bottom left, I think we open, so We're gonna see bet here because we have some draws that could materialize. We have some backdoor draws. Um, Not much else to say. Sizing's okay, I think. We're gonna see bet because we're gonna get a lot of folds, especially you could have a king high, queen high, uh, flush draws. Here, contemplate checking. Yeah, betting is definitely better because well we have king high, so yeah, and all the draws missed. We don't block a nut draw. Actually, I think a straight is straight draw good there. Let's roll it back. Yeah, 4-5, but it's not very likely that villain has 4-5. I mean, we could have it too, so that gives puts more pressure on villain to fold. But either way, I think we have to bluff there. Top left, we'll play if we get raised. We'll definitely limp. Bottom left, the same. 6-6-4-4 double suited. That's good to open. Queen Queen 5-5 in a five-way pot. We're just gonna check it down unless something happens. If we like, we do have a blocker to the straight, but that'd be a very ambitious bluff. On this board with 6-6-4-4, we're just shutting down. Um, we completely missed. Uh, Normally I would probably not open this, but like I said, we're not getting 3-bet. We're gonna open this. Ace 9-9-3 with ace high suit. Position's really bad. If that was on the button, I might call just for like set mining and get worse flushes in to call when we get a flush. Um, yeah, I think we see bet just because it's like so dry here. On the queen 9-9-8, we have a pair of queens. Kings double suited, very good hand. We're gonna open. The middle hand, pretty interesting. I think we're gonna see bet because then we could have two pair here. Okay, we didn't see bet. I think we should have because, like I was saying, villain could have 2-3, queen 3. You know, a lot of two pairs out on the flop that you know are kind of scared of a queen 10. He could even villain could also have 2-3, 3-10, two pair kind of hands. Um, and we have decent draw. Argument for checking it back would be we don't want to get a check raise because we have pretty good equity with a gutter and a flush draw. So maybe that's why I checked it back. We also lose against like better queens, better one pair queens that have a ace in them or something, and also have a straight draw. So I still like a bet, but yeah. Um, Kings double suited. We have a flush draw. Uh, pretty wet board. We're gonna see bet for sure. If we get let into, we wouldn't. Um, so yeah. So with the queen, villain had kings. Uh, Probably would have folded a turn if we bet like 3/4. But oh well. 2/3 pot bet here with the kings. I think that's good. Uh, we get there. I think at a bet or a check either way is okay here. We get let into. Okay. We're definitely just gonna call. Um, he could have the nuts, and if he doesn't, yeah, interesting river. I think his check is good because he could still have the nuts. So yeah, we would just be value owning ourselves if we bet there. A little bit too optimistic. Checking 8-6, uh, bad hand. So if it limped around and we were on the button, I think we can call. But I think this week we can open this one on the cutoff to a bet. We're just gonna fold. Bottom right, we would limp in if we get a chance to. To raise, we'll just fold. Aces, double suited, gonna open. We flop the nuts. I like to go like a little less than half pot, sometimes half pot here. Um, and we'll be doing this with range, so or whatever we're continuing with. Some hands we want to check back, but with the nuts, we're definitely betting. With the Queen Jack 6-5, one check two, I think we're gonna bet that every time. Got a couple aces. We're gonna play both of them. We got queens in the middle. We opened. Looks like we're three betting with that top right. Got a lot of hands going here. So we'll just look at the yeah, with the queens, we could go either way. With the 8-7-6, we're done. We're gonna see bet bottom left. It's a little wet. We got to overpair, so top right, we're definitely c betting. We have flush draw with aces, so I was just gonna get it in. Hope for the best. Bottom left, think we can just get it in. We have a pot size bet left. Yeah, and hope we're good. Yep. And I think villain there. I think he should have, if he was gonna do anything, he should have raised on the flop. Calling down, especially that turn pot, I think that's kind of bad. And I make note of it. Even though we have, a 10 with the ace kicker, I'm repping aces. Um, he blocks the nut flush draw, so yeah, I think diligent fold would have been better there. Ace 10-10-3 limp. We're gonna call. Interesting. We're gonna check call if he bets. Then we'll go from there. We have trips on top left. I guess we're just gonna call here. He can have better trips. Interesting turn on the bottom left here. So let's take a look here. So this bar is annoying, but what can we do for now? This is how I'm gonna record it. Oh, okay, it's gone. Cool. So yeah, we block top set. We don't block any straights, and we have enough flush draw with trips. So right here would be a good place for like a check raise. I don't think I do, just because villain, he's a brown star. That's the lowest tier on the website, I think. So, and we don't block any of the the straights. We also don't block any heart draws, so I think it might be an okay spot. But the pot's relatively small right now. If it was a little bit bigger, like, and then we can like check jam, I think that's okay. But given that it's still relatively small, my line of check call I think is okay actually. We got a boat on the top left. It's good. Um, we get potted, so. Oh, and I remember this player is kind of bad, so I go for value raising because we want to build the pot. River with the bottom middle is unfortunate. We're just gonna check and hope he checks too. We get potted, so it's pretty strong. We don't block any hearts. Just gotta let it go. Uh, Top middle, pretty good hand. We have third nut. Uh, I think a lead is good here too. Uh, After everyone checks, we're definitely go for value. I mean, on the turn we could bet, not a lead. Yeah, but we win. It's good. Bottom right, very good hand. So make note that the villain three barreled when we had trip tens. Um, Good flop, bottom right. We want to go pretty big here. Very wet. We have top two pair with gutter, so yeah, backdoors, flush draw too. Um, Top left, we're playing this. I like the pot. We get two callers. We're just gonna maximize protection and value at the same time, and we can get a okay river bet in if we go get to the river. This is an interesting card. We have a half pot bet, and yeah, I think getting it in is good because a lot of things miss. Sure, he has some, backdoor seven sixes. Queen 10 got there. Um, that said, like it wasn't an ace, it wasn't a queen, it wasn't a 10, which are all worse cards. They're worse cards than the 9. Um, like, actually, I think a 7 is worse than a 9, so yeah. And we're kind of in a tough spot if we check and then villain jams. And okay. Um, on the flip side, if we do check and we give villain the opportunity to bluff with like hard draws, all the missed straight draws like I don't know. I guess ace queen is the only one that misses. 10-9 misses. So yeah, um, I think I still like the lead better, just because a lot of people are calling pretty loose. Like I mean, uh, I feel like king 8, king 9 sometimes can bet call here because well, it's a half pot bet too. So yeah, but I think checking is okay too. Top right, I think we should fold. It's getting a little bit big. There's just this looks like a straddle table, so I'm not sure who straddled and who's raising, but maybe it straddled all the way to the button. uh, Top left, it's a good flop. Um, Top pair, second nut flush. Yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna bet if it checks around to us. Ace, Jack, 10, 8 double suited. Very good hand. We're gonna call. We're gonna play. We get raised. It's okay. We're gonna call. Now we have a three-way. It's a good flop. Actually, very good flop for us. I think a lead is okay here. Yeah, a check is okay, but I think a lead is better. Like maybe we want to lead there like 2 times more often than a check. But yeah, um, bottom right, it's a good hand. We could either call or three bet. I like a three bet better, just because cutoff range is going to be a little bit wider usually. Um, Hard to tell with these players, but either way, yeah, call's okay too. But actually, it depends on the villains behind us. Like if we had like a lot of like juicy players, I think a call is better. Um, this player seems to be um, a fun player. This guy, I've played with him before. He's pretty aggressive, bad aggressive, not good aggressive. So yeah, it's pretty. I guess it's a coin toss. Top left, I think we want to play that for sure. We're gonna bet. Sorry, I wanna roll it back to this top right hand. It looked like we had a double suited nine high double suited. Yeah, we should open this. I think I was kind of distracted with all the tables, but yeah, this one's definitely open. Oh, I check it back because I guess that's okay because sets would have done something on the flop and flush draws or like not flushes could have got there. So I like the you know control play. Um, we get led into or one of the villains bets. There's nothing much else to do but call. Here, three bet, tens double suited. We're letting it go. Bad position. Even if we're on the button, it's probably gonna let it go. Actually, yeah, we'll let it go unless we have a really good reason to. This is a very bad flop. I think we should check, but yeah. So villain top left was bluffing. We got some extra value there. Make note of it. Since we get checked to twice, bottom right, I think we can start a double barrel here. This is exploitative. We get check raised really bad there, like if we overbluff, but um, people aren't punishing us, so top right. I think we would have played for like a half pot bet, but yeah, there's no need to chase there. Yeah. Uh, Top middle, same logic. We just have a bad open ender, so nothing else. We should just fold. King's double suited with the ace blocker. We're gonna open. We're gonna c bet on this flop. We are scared of like nines and straight draws. Not much else to say. Um, with the eights in the middle, we're gonna open. We can call a little deeper, so when we do hit, we can capitalize. That flop, we're just gonna fold. Looks like our kings got through. Interesting top right. We have a bottom pair gutter with uh, backdoor club draw. I think I would like a bet here. We do decide to check. It's a little, our hand's a little bit too weak. We do make a two pair. So we're going to continue for sure here. Villain pots. Yeah, we're just going to call. What happened there? Um, we're gonna give up top right. So I think villain bets here. Yeah, not much else to say. Did we have kings here and we folded it? Yeah, that was bad. Because I think it was like a min bet. So we should never fold over pairs to a min bet. Might be wrong, but if it was a bigger bet, yeah, we can fold. But yeah, that was a horrible, horrible fold. It's what happens when you play too much tables that you can't keep track of. If it was like a half pot bet, I think a fold is okay because there are just so many players behind us. We have no idea where we're at in the hand. Let's see. Top left, we're gonna play. Not much going on there. Top right with limp just because of pot odds. Interesting. We can get a straight, a flush, good bluff. Trip threes. We're gonna bet. Yeah. So top right's kind of interesting. We check call a pot bet. And this person also potted us earlier, so I think I was thinking about that. Um, and we have, you know, some equity. We have a gutter for the nuts. We have a blocker so we could bluff later. And yeah, and then we have we have that the spade draw, backdoor spade draw. It's pretty bad, but it's still there. I think if villain checks back here, that's pretty weak. So we can just bluff on the river. It's not the greatest river to bluff because like if villain had a heart draw, they got there. That said, our hand is pretty trashy. If we had a two pair, we can just check, hope to take it down. But given the way it played out, I think a bluff is good here. And yeah, smaller size is good because uh, if villain had a straight, they're gonna bet on the turn, and they didn't. So that means they either have like two pair hand. Even if they had a set, they would probably bet on the turn. So like a two pair or one pair or just nothing or yeah a flush. So I go half pot, which I consider a little bit smaller in a lot of situations, but I like to go with the half pot size because we can get a thin value when we do have a hand, and then also when we are bluffing like this, we get a cheap bluff in, and basically villains probably going to call all flushes, but everything else they're going to fold. So I think they fold enough to make it work. And he did have a small flush, and we get called, but that's okay. Middle table, we have top pair, flush draw, very good hand. It's wetter, so I like 3/4 or bigger. I feel like maybe I should start trying to size up, like get more value. Uh, Maybe I can go like 80, 85 on the flops. I might try that out, but I think it's okay, 3/4. We get there, so we're just going for value here. Um, yeah, here too, maybe we can size up. But yeah, 2/3 is, I think it's all right. We also block a lot of flushes, high flushes. It'd be great if he had villain had a king high flush, but guess villain doesn't because our bet gets through. Got kings, we're gonna bump it up. We missed the flop, so we're gonna check. Same, we're gonna check again. Like, even if you know the other players don't have a straight, there's a lot of two pairs or sets. There are flush draws. We don't block anything, and sometimes our one pair just wins when we check it down. So, all right. I think I'm gonna look for an exciting hand, and then once we have an exciting hand, I'll um, break up this video into another segment. Ooh, we have aces. Can't remember if this was exciting. We're gonna three bet for sure. Um, Pretty good aces, single suited, but 8-6 is pretty good to have. It's way better than having like a ace ace 8 deuce or something like that, because we can make straights and other like two pair hands. A lot of stuff going on. So that's interesting. I make note of cold call. I just say bad probably. 8965. Usually I would just fold that, but like I said, people are pretty passive, so yeah. King nine deuce with the aces. So we're pretty deep with this guy right here. The other two. So like if this guy wasn't in there, I would just jam these because we're basically effectively playing a pot size stack. Um, we're not, and it's a four-way pot, and it's kind of wet. So yeah, I think a check is good. And I think what happens here, we'll see. But yeah, our short stack villain jams, and we call it off because we have aces top pair. He has two pair, unfortunate, but even against two pair, like he could jam there with a king or a queen jack 10 type of hand. So that was probably like kings and nines, sets and two pair. Outside of that, there was a lot of draw hands that, or like a you know ace king, top pair top kicker type hands that could just wants to get it in there. So I think that call is good for the price. That wasn't exciting enough, so let's go look for another one. We'll go 10 more minutes if we don't find one. This is kind of interesting here. I call. We have a not so good flush with a gutter with position. So when we get potted on the turn, yeah, we're folding. But if it was like check to us, I think we can start bluffing. Yeah. And then depending on the river, we can barrel. If a club came, we'd check it down. And we picked up a 8, right? So we could make some two pairs on the river. Villain has trip aces. All right. So yeah, if we got there, we would have made some money. This top left, I would normally not open this in other games, but we're not getting 3-bet that much, like, or significantly less than we should be. So, and we have a wrap with the lowest flush draw. It's a good hand, so we're gonna see bet. It's kind of a dry board, other than the clubs. So we have another hand on the right we can talk about in a second. Um, King Queen, it's not good for a hand, good for a range. So I think it's kind of close because after after villains call, because there's two players here, right? So after they call on the flop, um, it's likely that one of them has a queen for sure. Maybe they both do because we don't have any of it. So what else are they going to call with, right? We have the straight draw, so we block all that. It's not very likely that they have this low end straight draw. As, and they can also have flush draws, yeah, that also beat us. And this king queen could make those flush draws into combo draws. They could have gutters, they could have wraps. It's just not a good hand. Like, we would be in a very bad spot if we bet and then, like, this villain to our right, this player to our right, check raises us or something. Yeah, so um, actually, like, even though the king is good for our range, yeah, checking is, I think, okay. We make the nuts, which is great, and get potted into. We're gonna raise how much, and this player to the right is kind of bad. I played with this player yesterday too, and they're just doing some like crazy things, like getting two pair in on a straight flop. So yeah, um, so we're gonna go for value. Looks like I'm gonna raise what? How much is that? Is that 2/3 or something? I think a good sizing for just value instead of jamming. Jamming just like kind of gives it away. Although in retrospect, villain just like snap called. So I wonder what he had. That'd be. I feel like if he had anytime he plus set, he's gonna call. Maybe king queen might even call. Yeah, I'm not sure. Uh, we have a hand on the left. Let's roll it back. Then after this one, I'll break up the video. So yeah, trip nines, good hand. Looks like no on bet pre, so yeah, we're gonna open up the action. I usually go a little bit like 2/3, 1/3 on paired boards that I do bet. Like I might bet like a ace high flush draw or something here. We get a boat, which is good. Good check raise here given the stacks. I still don't want to give away the hand, so yeah. We improve to basically the nuts unless villain somehow has jacks. Uh, since we checked last turn, we're gonna balance by checking again. I think that would be better. Yeah, I contemplated that bet. Betting's okay, but problem with that is we're probably just gonna get one call or a fold. When we check, we can either get a bluff out of villain or check raising and we get two bets in. So I like the check. Villain makes I think a pretty tight. Um, yeah, I think I would bet those. If I got check raised, like villain would have gotten check raised by me right here. It would have been tough, but I think there's enough value with six, with, with the 6.6. It's yeah, there's good value because there's a lot of flush draws that just could have called like even a half pot bet. So yeah. All right. So we'll wrap it up for now. Thanks for watching, guys.